Hi, Julie Torrens here. So we're going to make some ATCs start to finish. So I took some watercolor paper. This is just the Amazon Basics. It's just a cellulose. It's not great, but it's fine. It does what I want it to do. So I'm going to start out by using this like a masterboard. And I'm grabbing, this is a 1/2 inch square. I'm going to go into ultramarine blue, and not too thick, not too thin. And like I said, like a masterboard, I am just ignoring the tape and I am just making marks. Now I'm using blues because I want this to be kind of a wintry feel. I realize abstract, yes, but still kind of a wintry feel. Does any of this say winter to you? Oh, hopefully it will. Hopefully it will. Okay, I think we've got enough of this color on. Now I'm going into a color called Mayan blue, which is kind of a slate blue. And I'm just going to kind of fill in, I'm not doing anything precision or precise. And I've got washi tape. I buy this washi tape from Amazon that has this grid pattern, and it makes it so I'm sorry for my arm, I can use the grid to help me get it on straight. Try not to cover everything up with my arm. And again, I am not going precision. If I leave some white spaces, it's not going to matter. Now, if you saw my last watercolor video, you saw a technique where we moved everything around with water, and that's kind of what we're going to do today too. I can see the shimmer in this Mayan color, and that's because in this particular color from Daniel Smith, they used, boy, this only has just a stripe, but that's okay. They use real semi-precious stones and crystal and stuff in it, so that as the pigment sinks in, you'll find that the gem mineral part is floating on top. Okay, now I think we're good. Just any little spots that I see, but yeah, on to the next part. Big old brush. This is my number 16, and into clean water, and I'm just going to start moving this around. So now any places that were showing up as white won't, and I'm just kind of blurring the two colors together. And it's wet. That's why we've got it taped down. Now the Mayan blue moves a lot more than the ultramarine blue. Your paint may be different. Your ultramarine blue may just slip and slide all over the place. It just, different formulas from different companies, and, use what you want. I don't think I really went over the aquamarine very much. Let's make sure I do that, because I want it blurry. I want it mixy. Okay, now I think everyone's sufficiently wet. And I think everything's kind of moved around a little bit. It looks good to me. All right, so I'm going to put the Daniel Smith paints away. And I've got my metallics. It's got metallics and it's got shimmer paint. Oh, no, I'm going back, sorry. In my Daniel Smith set, I've got over here white gouache. White gouache is white watercolor paint, but it is not transparent. So I'm going to start with that, and I'm just going to splatter. And it is going to mix and mingle with what's down. And I want that. It's not going to give me white circles. It may here and there, but for the most part, it's going to sink in. But it leaves a mark, and I like it. So, but this is real wet. Now, some watercolor paints have a white in them that is a mixing white. And when you have a mixing white, then it's more of a transparent white, where gouache is not. Okay, now we can say goodnight to the others. Just get them out of the way. And now to the metallics. And I am going to take this big round brush, and I'm going to start out by going in a shimmer color. Now this shimmer color is almost entirely transparent, and when you look at it from different angles, it comes up white. But you and I are going to right now see pretty much just clear. These shimmer paints and metallics need a considerable amount of water to activate, I think. All right, there we go. Maybe you'll see some white, maybe you won't, but it will sink in too. But when it's dry, the mica stays on top of the paper, so it'll be a shimmer, like a pearlized, I guess. Yep, we're getting different blotches and splotches, and I'm loving it. Okay, last one in here. I'm going into this gold, which is more of a sparkly gold. This gold over here is more pearly than it is sparkly, but the one I'm using is more sparkly. Now, this particular set of paints, they don't make anymore. So, you know, it's paper fashion. It's a American Crafts product, but I don't think they make it anymore. Just use what you have. Use whatever metallics or shimmers you have. If you don't have either of those things, you can just sprinkle table salt on it while it's wet, just in a random splattery pattern like this, and then set it aside, and it'll give you a different kind of a white. Sometime we'll do that. I'm just rinsing out my brushes. So this needs to dry a while. So I'm just going to set this aside, and I did just what you saw me do on this one. The only thing that I added were some white snowflakes. Can you see? But other than that, I did everything that you just saw the same. Same colors, all of it. Now, I took my jelly roll. Did I say these are ATCs? I hope I did. Artist trading cards. I'm getting ready for some December swaps. They're going to be fun. So I just took a jelly roll, white jelly roll, and I just went around and I made some snowflakes. So I thought I just saved one right here that I was going to put them on. So when I make a snowflake, I do it with 6 points because I think crystals are always 6-pointed. The rest is just doodling. So on this one, I'm just going to put circle on the tip, and then maybe 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines, maybe a dot in between those circles. Some of this is off the edge, which is fine, but there, snowflake. Now I'm going to make another one. This one's a little smaller, so I'm just going to put dots. And again, it's kind of off to the side, and that's all right. And I'm just going to put a triangle in between. Like I said, I'm just doodling. There's nothing magic about this. So here's another one. And I think I'm going to put a triangle on each tip, like an arrow. And that one ran into this one. Let it be. It's good. And then I think I'm just going to put a V shape in between. And I'm going to leave it be. Good. And over here, this is on a particularly gold shiny, so it may not show up real good for you to see. I hope it does. And let's put 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just lines, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to put in between a O, not a dot, but a O, and there. And let's get another one on here. You can see I'm not doing anything that's real complicated. I'm going to put a U shape on the ends. And then I'm going to put a V shape in between. And I'm going to put a dot floating in the U shape there. Turning it around. Let's just, there we go. Putting a circle and a circle here. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And a dot in between. It's a bigger one. There. Okay. Do a smaller one. And this time I think I'll put, sometimes it just feels like you kind of run out of ideas. I'm just going to put one of those 3 pokers sticking out on the end, 1, 2, 3, and just a straight line and a dot in between the, there, in between the prongs. And another one. And I'm going to go ahead and put solid dots and a solid dot in between. Call that done. Do one here. And let's see. Maybe I'll do those triangles again. And a dot in between. And there. So now you've seen it all of the ways that I did that. And that pen will not take that long to dry. So let's peel off the washi. It's kind of coming up on its own. That's fine because it was stuck when it needed to be. But I've just put a kind of a edge around all of them, which I think gives it a nice finished look, don't you think? I think so. Like I said, I buy this washi off of Amazon, and I just put in washi, and then I just look. Nowhere in the description or on the packaging did it say it had a grid. I just kept looking at them one after the other until I found one that did. I'm sure you'll find it. Ooh, we've got one coming right off. Let's see what this is going to look like. What do you think? A good start? I think so. They're sparkly and they're cheerful, and I think they're great. Here's another one. Pretty. Let's take this one off. I'm not going to show you all of them up close. You're getting the drift. And I know I'm kind of going on again and off again from where you can see me. I'm sorry. And now the desk is a mess. But, you know, that's what happens. We've been working. Okay. We've got all 6 of those So you can see now, I've said it before, when you're working on a master board, when it looks really wild, it still isn't. When you cut it apart, you can really see that it's not too much. And can you agree? You know, it's just once you get them apart, don't those look great? I don't think they look overdone. Honestly, I feel like these are 6 artist trading cards that could just be like this. But no, we're going to work on them some more. But let me just bring this back. Other than the snowflakes, this is the same. But it's looking chaotic. But when you're doing master boards, they really kind of tone down when you get it to this point, when you're cutting them apart and separating them. Okay, I am going to stack these up a little bit and we'll just work on them. Maybe we'll work on them 3 at a time because I'm picturing it being a set of 3. And I've got some fussy cuts that I did. Will they fit? I don't know. We'll try to make them fit. And I am not opposed to an artist trading card that is landscape instead of portrait, but this is just clearly too big. Let's see this one. Okay, we can make that fit, no doubt. As a matter of fact, I am just going to try to cut off those 2 ends, and I think we'll be fine. So I think it was about there and about there. And let's just give this a look-see now. Very good. Very nice. And if my fussy cut goes over the margin, I don't mind that. I don't. Now, I think it looks a little lost, so I'm going to get out my sepia ink because I just felt like we've got enough color going on that I don't want to add more. I've got to move stuff around a little bit because we're going from watercolor mode to whatever we're doing now, decorating mode, I guess. So I just want to bring out something to glue on. And I'm just going to put those brushes right there. Okay. I'm not even sure if this is the one we were working on, but I think it is. All right, let's get some ink on this. Just going to ink up the edges and see if that helps it stand out a little bit. I think it will. So what's on your desk? Are you going to get into any artist trading card swaps? Now, these fussy cuts that I'm using, I made using artificial intelligence, and I have another video where I talk about that in more detail. But one of the things about the one that I used, which is a free one, is that you can't use it for commercial use. Well, I thought, okay, ATCs are perfect because, and that helped this a lot. I'm not sure you can see the subtleness of that, but yeah, it's just fine. But anyway, ATCs are never to be sold. They're always to be given away, artist trading cards. That's really the only big rule about them. They're traditionally 2.5 by 3.5. And what I had was some leftover watercolor paper that I cut into the ATC size. Just some offcuts. Okay. I think that's an adorable ATC. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Let's do another one. Okay. I'll grab myself another one of these. Now, that one looks too big, but I think I could make it smaller. I know I can. And I know it's 2 trees in a row. I'm just going to cut right down this one window marking and then go around the tree like that. So I'm just kind of going around the tree till I get to here, and then I'm just following it up. Let's see what that does. I don't like the squaredness of it. I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna go around the star just a bit. And then just kind of like this. I tried to have fussy cutting done, but I didn't know exactly for the size. There we go. Now, this one, I'm thinking about a little bit of book page. Let's get the book out. An old dictionary that I bought at the Goodwill. I'm going to take off some of this margin. It's really dark, really foxed, I guess that's what you call it. And I just kind of want to see if I can. Once you get started, you just can't stop. I just want to strip. Not a precision strip at all. Let's see what this does. Oh, see, I like that. Yep. Okay. It's just a tiny bit too long. Let's get the glue stick. So I made the fronts of 3 more Christmas cards. I made 3 of them with you in a video, and then I made 3 more on my own. So I have 6, and I think I'm going to make 3 more, and then I think I'll be set. I don't send out that many Christmas cards. Does anybody? I mean, Frugal Crafter, she was on this morning. This is Saturday, December 1st, I think. Is it? Or the 2nd? I'm not sure. But first Saturday, I think it's the 2nd. It's the first Saturday in December. But she, on her Saturday morning Sat Chat, is sending 60 cards. So, you know, that's good. Okay, there's our number 2. And you know what I think I'm going to do? Well, we'll get to that in a little bit. All right. So we said 3. I've got 2 with Christmas trees. So maybe this won't be a trifecta. But this was right on top, and I think this will work fine. It's a Christmas candle. And again, I'm just going to cut it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to glue it on. And this one, I'm just going to cut what's hanging completely over because I like it. And I'm not going to do book page. I am not going to even ink up the edges. I like it just like it is. I think it's fine. And I'm just using an Uhu glue stick. Now, a lot of times when I'm gluing on top of watercolor paper, I'll use art glitter glue because this is getting gluey, because it's so absorbent. Well, it's already absorbed all this watercolor, so it's not as absorbent as it was. So I'm not concerned. Okay, now I'm just gonna cut these off, and I'm just letting them go right over the white margin. I think it looks really nice that way. All right, and there's another. I hope you can see. All right, we're moving right along, aren't we? The biggest part of this project is the dry time. You know, I mean, you're going to want to maybe just do the backs, let them dry and go do something completely different. Here's another candle. Oh. Now this one, for whatever reason, I don't know, I want to do the inking on the edges, but I like it. Yeah, so get your backgrounds done and walk away. Now, I did coax it along with the heat gun, but not until it had done moving, you know, moving and shifting around the colors. So I would say I probably let them sit about 20 minutes and then did the heat gun. I'm being generous with this. I just feel like it needs it. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. Okay. What do you say? Now, maybe you've decided, or maybe you already have purchased Christmas cards. Maybe you purchased them last year. A lot of people do that because, you know, you get them for 70% off or more. I think it's a grand idea. But if you want to add a little different touch to it, then you could put a little ATC in there. And they can use it as a bookmark. They can use it for all kinds of things. Never go to waste. Now this goes over the margin on the side, and I think that's fine. What do you think? I think it looks good. Okay. We've just got 2 more. Okay, we've got 2 candles. We've got 2 Christmas trees. Now, what else do I have? You know what I have? I'm going to dig down. I don't know if these will fit. These are steampunky. Should I mix the two? Oh, maybe I shouldn't. See, he's just dressed in winter. I just picked him out because he was winter dressed. Should I go with it? I think if I would have done 3, I would have been more comfortable. All right, well, I'm going to leave them here. Like here, this couple. Can you see? They're dressed for winter. I think they're fun. All right, now this is another set of candles. Oh, kitten. Oh, do I have another Christmas kitten? I've got this sleigh. That's too big. This church I could cut down, but if I had another kitten, that would be perfect. But I don't think I do. I've got a Magi set again. No disrespect, but it's just not where I'm at today. Okay, we're going to do the Christmas kitten. And I am going to... It's too big. I mean, it's just too big. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go along this bottom, cutting along the paws, not cutting the paws off. All right, now, how are we for the bottom with that? Okay, that's good. I'm going to cut some of this background off and just kind of go up around the ear and around the hat. All right, now let's see. We're getting there. I want that Christmas ball in there, but I don't want it to lose its hat. I think I'm good. I'm going to just glue it down and then trim it. And it will be going over the edge, but I think that's fine. It's a little big, but I don't think it's too big. I've left my glue stick with its lid off just a little too long. It's all right though. All right. Let's put the lid on it. Get a dry spot. We want the ornament. I may have to go back in and add a little more glue. I can see that I do. That's good. All right, now trim this off. Oh, that's fine. What do you think? Can you see it? I can't see there. Good? All right. One more. Are you hanging in there with me? All right, now let's see about this church. Oh, it's really too big. We've got to make one of these other things work. I hate to do another Christmas tree. I know that sleigh is way too big. We've said no to Magi. It's one of the smaller. What are you? No, or another Christmas tree. I'd almost rather do the Christmas tree than the Magi, because I would be cutting so much off of that Magi that it would almost be sacrilegious. Okay. I think I'm going to do this one like I did the kitten. And I'm going to just glue it on. And I might even bring it down a bit. And then just leave the... But I want to darken the edges. I think because this one has more white than ever on the edge. I'm not sure where it's going to cut off, so I'm going ahead and all right, now not much is coming off. Okay, let's glue it on. Now, I realize you might be thinking, you did an awful lot of work on those backgrounds and it's all covered up. You know what? That's the way it is sometimes. But the detail of that will not be lost on whoever's looking at it. You know what I mean? It's okay. Okay, good. I moved the glue book away because it's getting so gluey. Let me go this way. Good. Got a little something on the back. It's what makes it art. Okay. All right, now we've got our 6. Let's put this away. And no more book page. And I want to round the corners. I just stuck my arm in the open glue. How dumb am I? There we go. Okay. I think it makes them look more finished. I really do. That one didn't. There we go. Good. So I was saying, you know, it may need emptying. Sometimes when it's starting to kind of fail, it's because it's just got too much in it. But I'm going to scissor trim this one. There we go. Good enough. Anyway, if you are sending Christmas cards that you've already purchased and you could send one of these, you could take these, punch a hole in the top and turn them into gift tags. Why not? I think that would be pretty. They are homemade and they are special. They really are. And I mean, I don't look at these and immediately think homemade. I think special. Truly. Okay. Almost there. This is, you know, that watercolor paper's thick. And so it's filling this guy up quick. There. Sorry for the maintenance program. Yeah, see, immediately it's better. I need a new small rounding corner thing. I'm really asking a lot of this one at this point. That one didn't cut quite right because it grabbed that picture and it's still wet. All right, I'm just gonna clean this one up a tiny bit. There we go. All right, so now I'm sorry for the messy desk, but like I said, we've been working. So we've got these 3 trees. Honestly, that could be a set unto its own, couldn't it? They're different. You know what I mean? They're not 3 of the same tree. And then we've got, pick these up. We've got candle, and kitten. Now, let's do kitten, candle, tree, and then tree, candle, tree. That'll be fine. But I'm not done. I know. I want to ink up the edges. I just do. I think it'll frame them out just nice. And I'm not trying to get a whole lot, but compare the two. I like it. And these are going to have to go under a book because between the watercolor and then the glue from the glue stick, they're warping. And again, this isn't 100% cotton watercolor paper. It's a cellulose paper, I'm sure. I can't find anywhere where they've described if it's cellulose or not. But as I've said before, with the Amazon Basic watercolor paper, I think if it was even part cotton, which it could be, but if it was, I think they'd be bragging about it. You know, I really do. Coming along. It's very gloomy. If it looks like I'm doing a midnight moonlight madness craft, no, it's just very heavy gray sky, and we're supposed to get snow, which is great. I love it. I used to be outside more in the snow than I am these days, but I still love it. Sit and watch the lazy snowflakes falling while sipping a cup of tea. That is just my style. Okay, now let's see. We said Christmas tree, candle, Christmas tree. Is that what we said? I think so. Those look nice. Okay. Now, you've been with me this long. If you're not subscribed, I think you should be. It's free. Today's the perfect day, and I appreciate the subscription. Also, please hit the like. As I said, subscribe. It helps my channel so much. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye now.